Look dangerous.
Lock it in, baby. Lock it in. Never
Leave your wingman.
Never, ever leave your wingman.
Every player needs a wingman.
Is that Bernhard?
Oh, great. Langer.
You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
You heard me talk about Squares golf shoes and how they help you hit the golf ball further. And many of you are saying, oh, come on, Faldo, give us a break. How is that possible? But yes, they do. And it's proven with science.
What we noticed with the Square shoes was the shoe keeps the pressure in a more stable fashion towards the inside of the trail heel, allowing pressure to get to the lead side, generating much more club and speed and distance gain.
Visit squares.com. Change your shoes, change your game. Squares, the distance golf shoe.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk, right here on BGT-TV on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Alexa devices, TuneIn. You can find Big's Golf Talk anywhere.
Anywhere. I'd mentioned her. I mentioned the name, but then she started talking, and we don't want her to start talking.
Nope. Follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and
YouTube.
And this segment is sponsored by the Distance Shoe, Squares Shoes, proof, not promise. And I'll tell you, Squares Shoes, Bill the Godfather of Cuevas last Sunday helped me get through one windy day with 50-mile-per-hour gusts of wind on the golf course. Again, thank you to David Crawford and everybody. We had like a 7. The golf course is essentially to ourselves. Nobody wanted to be out there.
Not with 50 mile an hour winds.
7 of us on the golf course together. And Santa Fe Country Club hosting us. Thank you so much, Santa Fe Country Club. Thank you to David Crawford, one of my brothers in umpiring. And he assigns the Santa Fe area and certainly cares just as much as I do about the craft of umpiring. And so we were out there and playing some golf. But one thing I got to try, and David Crawford and all the guys were seeing me use something brand new, Bill the Godfather Cuevas.
I'm jealous. I'm envious.
You know, this all started back in 2013 with Clay Hood and Jonah Mitro.
Long time ago.
A couple of avid golfers with plenty of industry experience started Precision Pro because the average golfer had been priced out of the rangefinder market while being reduced to a little more than a necessary part of a transaction. 1 year later, they debuted the first sub $200 rangefinder retail, and that was the Precision Pro V400 back in 2014. Bill the Godfather Cuevas. They believe in performance and price. It was clear that consumers vote with dollars, and that showed them that they were on to something special. Value conscious golfers were tired of subsidizing. Oh, this cold is kicking my butt. Subsidizing large corporate marketing budgets and tour player sponsorships. So we've been hard at work finding new, and they've been hard at work finding new and innovative ways to bring consumers the ultimate combination of performance and price. And Bill the Godfather Cuevas, I had the opportunity to try out something that's pretty special when it comes to rangefinder. I'm talking about wind assist, GPS distance, Find My Precision Pro, additional features that included a rechargeable battery. You know how big I am on a rechargeable battery, Bill.
Amen.
Pulse vibration technology, a magnetic grip right on the rangefinder to hold right on your golf cart, and an external slope switch. But most of all, Bill the Godfather Cuevas, technology in this rangefinder called My Slope, a number customized to you and your game. That's right. This is the only rangefinder on the market right now, Bill the Godfather Cuevas, that you could input your clubs, the ball speed, and it will actually calculate exactly what club you will be using on that particular shot and recommend that club.
Can I borrow it? That's all I want. Can I borrow it for a little while?
No,
Bro,
it's mine.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, well, I don't care. But comes with a nice case.
Yep.
And very, very sturdy, very, very hard, right?
Yep.
And what's so good about this is that this drops off your golf bag.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the app and find your rangefinder.
Can you imagine how cool it is? Now, I guess we're going to have to ask our guest, but one of the questions, because I haven't seen it, is it the actual unit itself? It's the unit that you can find, right? So you don't need it. It's wherever.
Right, it's the unit. So it's not the actual case.
It's the unit.
But it's the unit.
That's awesome.
And combined with the app, I mean, so this has both GPS and target. So you could use both GPS. It gives you front, middle, and back on the GPS feature of this. But you could also shoot it with using the laser of it on it and get the exact distance of the pin.
Oh, wow.
What's so good about that is once you do shoot it and you use a shot of it, it will show up in the corner of the app, last shot distance.
Wow. That's cool.
So once you shoot it, and you're like, damn, what was that damn number again? Now you don't have to shoot it again. You could just look at your app and it'll tell you what was the last distance that you just shot.
No wonder you like it. It helps you be lazy.
Well, it helps me concentrate on my golf.
I think I should test it out for you.
I think I've tested it out enough for me, and I'm going to use it more to test more features out. But nice try. Let's bring in a man that's behind the My Slope feature, because this is something special for that serious golfer and that's out there that want to dial in their distance and know their ball speed and all that stuff. Braden Epp is joining us from Precision Pro. And Braden, welcome into Big's Golf Talk.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
No,
did I describe this accurately? And what this?
Yeah, yeah, you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, I told you earlier, this actually replaced a rangefinder that has been on my bag for years. And I'm not saying anything that I've used has been bad, but this is something special.
No, from what you described and what you've been talking about, what's great about today's show is
I also keep the recharging cord inside my case because, we all have recharging cords all over the house, and you just don't know which one goes to which.
But Braden, what's so special about this show is like all he's been talking about is this show and the guests that are going to be on this show. It's 2 back-to-back of his favorite. And that's all he's been talking about. The 2 favorite things, your rangefinder and a grip. He's fallen in love, and that's all he wants to talk about the whole entire time. And 2 things that I haven't had the ability to have is that the rangefinder and that grip. So I don't know what he's so excited about, but I almost want to go over there and beat him up and take everything and just leave and go play with it myself.
You definitely got to try. You got to go get it.
Even Braden believes I should just go take it. You see, I'm glad.
Braden,
just go grab it, play 9, come back, put it back. It's all good.
No.
You're gonna want to keep it after that.
That's the thing about one Bill the Godfather. He doesn't believe in just borrowing it. Nope. He thinks he owns it once he takes it in possession.
No, once you give me possession, I own it.
That's the end of it.
I don't play no backsies. I wasn't raised that way. No backsies. So no. But hey, Brett, you started with the slope technology. Tell us how you got involved with Precision Pro and what you did.
Yeah, I actually used to work for the Cincinnati Reds in their front office. That was kind of my introduction into sports. So I already had that analytics base. And then COVID happened. COVID shut down a lot of things, including sports. And Precision Pro is based out of Cincinnati, and there was a connection there. Mm-hmm. And so, they needed help. They kind of had this idea around My Slope, but, they weren't at a place that they could take it, to market and actually test it. Yeah. So that was my job when I came in, was find a way. We have this idea, find a way to get it usable. And that was kind of my introduction into the whole thing.
Wow. So he worked for the Cincinnati Reds, Biggs. Did you get a little tingle?
No, because right now the Cincinnati Reds has not gotten any good press. And that it used to be Marge, and that's who I had to deal with way back in the day. when we used to have to go to the Reds stadium and get in early or something like that. We had to get a hold of Marge, and Marge would be like, "You guys are too early."
You see, Brandon, do you know that he used to be a major league umpire?
I did not. That's awesome, though. That's
now you know. That's why he keeps talking about his umpire friends and everything else.
That's unreal. That is so cool.
So that's why he was dropping names just a minute ago, because he likes doing that. I just want the rangefinder. So you went from the Cincinnati Reds to Precision Pro because they were based out of Cincinnati. Help with My Slope. Did you help like modify it, fix it, or incorporate it into what they had going on?
Yeah, I mean, when I came in, it was basically like a code in an Excel sheet. That's all it was.
Okay.
So really not usable. And when testing, it wasn't there. It didn't work, and they knew that. And so my job was, again, just to take the concept of it all, right? Find a way to get people an exact slope measurement based on club details. And so I took that, and I mean, I didn't sleep a lot in the first few months because I was so addicted to finding that solution. I thought it was the coolest thing. And then, it just kept growing and growing. And eventually I was able to build a code or write a code that was able to take these inputs and actually produce an entire golf bag full of distances.
Wow.
And then
that's incredible. But I got two questions that you can answer how you want. How did they get this thing, Find My Rangefinder? We all know they got it on a phone.
Yeah.
So we got that. So you got Find My Rangefinder, which is I've never heard of anywhere, which is amazing. Because you know what?
Yeah.
It's the same technology as they use for like your iPhone and stuff like that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because we all know that we all leave it on that last card.
Happens too many times.
Yes, but people also happen to take it off and keep going. You know what I mean? So how cool is that when you get to drive up to somebody's car and say, "Hey, can I have my rangefinder back?"
Yeah. No, seriously. So yeah, it's honestly one of the features we're most excited about in this unit, is just because it's happened to all of us.
All of us.
Right? It's so hard not to. I've left it on tee boxes. I've left it on the cart, and so it's nice to kind of see, where did I actually leave this thing? And we've had a lot of people come to us for that reason. They say, "Look, I've lost too many rangefinders. I've had it stolen off my bag. I've had it whatever," and now this feature just makes them feel a little more comfortable.
I can see some people get fired over this because if you leave it on a cart, sometimes it doesn't make it to the pro shop.
It doesn't make it to the pro shop.
Right.
Nobody's expecting you to be able to find it. So that's the thing. Nobody's gonna be like, "Hey, what do you mean you got?"
You like to think that most are honest enough that it does make it back to the pro shop, but in all seriousness, but
but it's the truth. We got player towels. So player towels had made towels for me. They made my golf father and had my name on it. And I never
got one, just for the record, Braden.
That was before you, Biggs. That was when I was part of Mizuno and everything.
Right.
That was before you, man.
Yeah.
So
Still never got one, Braden. Today I have not gotten one. It's been 10 years.
My towel?
Well, then I find it fair that you have the rangefinder and he doesn't. I feel like it all evens out now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Braden. Yes.
I appreciate that, but I'm going to steal his anyway. But anyway, fast forward years later, I'm looking for my towel. I can't find my towel. So about 5 weeks later, we go back to this golf course that we played on, and my towel is on somebody's bag. And I go to the back. I said, "Is that your name?" And he goes, "Oh, no." I was like, "Well, why do you have that towel if it's not your name?" He's like, "Oh, I found it." I was like, "Well, why wouldn't you turn it in?" He's like, "Well, it's a nice towel. I know they're mine." It's mine.
I feel like that happens so often. That's such a common, occurrence. So
he's like, "Come on, man, turn it in." So I'm glad that you guys figure it out, because there's a lot of things that people lose and range.
All right. Well, let me ask him a question, because I think this is going to be important for people to understand the MySlope technology that goes into that. We're talking about Find, and we already know the technology that goes into that. Let's not waste a whole lot of time on that. Let's waste a lot of time on the technology that goes into MySlope, because and Bill, you don't know about this. This is why I wanted to jump into this. When you first get your rangefinder and you set it up and stuff like that, Braden, you have to, if you want to use that technology, you have to enter your clubs, you have to enter the ball speed and stuff like that. One thing I was confused on was, does one have to have that information in order to enter it, or does the GPS provide that information if you're on the golf course, and it saves that information.
Yeah, so as of right now, you do have to have that information before you get it. So we've been kind of working to help people get access to that information, find a TrackMan and go get your ball information. We do have features on the app that, you can see how far you hit certain balls. You can track those distances, but it doesn't get saved into the MySlope.
Mm-hmm. So you could actually get the distance and then just write it down, whatever the case might be.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but you're not going to have launch angle. You're not going to have ball speed to enter that information. You got to get that from a TrackMan.
Right. So yeah, we take the ball speed, we take the launch angle, and we take the spin rate, and then we convert that into a carry distance essentially for the golfer.
Do you suggest? Do they have to punch in every single club, or do they have to? If they do have to punch in each club,
yeah, they have to punch in every club as of right now. We've talked as a company about accessibility. Being able to allow people to only have to input it for certain clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not at a point where we can launch that yet, just because we're still collecting data and trying to really, figure out how we can estimate.
I guess because if most people that got fit like us, if we go and we get fit, our clubs are usually spaced between 10 and 12 yards.
Right.
So once we had the first couple, everything's going to fall right into place. But a lot of people don't have that. They don't go get fit. So they really don't know the numbers.
Yeah.
It does make, and it's worthwhile. Why not do it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's, we say it's, if you want the full power of what this can do, that's a step that has to be taken.
Yeah.
Again, we want more people to have access to it, but it takes a long time for us to, build out the right calculations to make sure that we're giving people accurate numbers. If they're only providing a couple clubs, or, if they're providing numbers, but no spin rate, which, most tracking
spin rate's huge.
Do, right. And so, I think that's probably, a couple years out, just because we want to make sure that that's as accurate as we can get it. We don't want to give people a product that, isn't going to work to its full potential.
Yeah. So, and you guys are already far ahead of the curve, because nobody, I mean, you guys got two things already ahead of the crowd, which is kind of nice, because I like that idea. How cool is that? You could just go and you take a boom, it hits you in your app. You can go and see which club and everything else that you're going to use. It takes a lot of the guesswork, because I Biggs, did you get to test that wind?
This is essentially an electronic yardage book. It really is.
Yeah.
Because you have
that's marketing, Biggs. we own that pattern. We own it. This is a yardage book.
If you can input, in a lot of these pros, these guys that are serious about their golf, they know that ball spin rate. They know that launch angle on each club.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So they put that information in, and and then you have that information ahead, and the app itself. The one thing I do notice that on the app, and I want to let people know, this is probably something that they can work on. So this is the only con that I found on the app was every time I have to input a score, I have to indicate if it's a par 3, par 4, or par 5. So it's not automatic that it'll automatically go to the next hole.
Yeah.
It will not automatically generate if it's a par 3, par 4, or par 5. So you have to actually input, push that button if it's a 3, 4, or 5, and then input your score and information.
Yeah, and we do that just because we have some courses, where the women's tee plays as a par 5 and the men's tee plays as a par 4. And so we don't really want to limit, what that is, because they feel like we do then cause more issues for people in those situations. We have courses that have changed certain holes.
Like the hybrid courses, where multiple tees and stuff.
Right.
Like that.
So even though you have to input that par, it's it's something we kind of want to leave just in case people do play courses that
makes sense, because it's hard for somebody to go back and change it.
Right.
If you have it as a par 4 and it's not a par 4.
Right.
It's a par 5 for me because I'm 90 years old. It's I think it's smart, because it's one little extra step. And if that's all he's complaining about, he'll get over it.
Yeah. I mean, me and my girlfriend play a course all the time, and I think like the third hole plays as a par 5 for her, but a par 4 for me on the scorecard. So it's nice. We can both use the app, and we can, we're inputting different pars for that. So it allows both of us to play and use the app, which is super cool.
Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas, I want to let you know that this technology with the Rangefinder features this MySlope technology. It's a groundbreaking technology, Bill. that combines a player's unique ball data, as I talked about, with environmental variables such as the launch angle. We talked a little bit about that, spin rate, altitude.
Mhm.
So here in New Mexico, Bill, that altitude comes in handy.
And then in Florida, it
ball
drops.
speed,
Mhm.
temperature, and humidity.
Wow.
And where I'll tell you, Bill, you might shoot a 157, I might shoot a 165 on that particular position. So it could vary, and having that data and having that information is pretty cool.
I think it's awesome.
Into a rangefinder.
And you know what? This speeds up the game. If you have all that information, how many people are sitting there? I got my distance, but now is that a 3 club? Maybe that's a 5 club win. I don't know what kind of wind it is. And you have all that stuff going. It makes a huge difference.
I use the wind assist on the app itself.
Okay.
I use the wind assist, and it told me plus 15 or minus 20. And I mean, I was literally seeing those numbers, minus 20, minus 15. So I'm like, okay, 2-3 clubs down, I got to go or add 3 clubs,
And you did say that you played a 4-hour round with 7 people. That's pretty quick. You know what I mean? So if you have all those numbers, that's pretty neat to have it right there. You don't have to guess. You don't have to start looking for nothing. It's all right at your fingertips, literally. So it's perfect.
Well, we're talking about the R1 Rangefinder by Precision Pro Golf, and you can learn more at precisionprogolf.com. Certainly a rangefinder I highly recommend. I mean, it has the data and it has the information and the tools and everything.
Find my rangefinder.
Yes. Bill's all hooked up on the Find My Rangefinder.
I am, bro, because I leave it behind every time. So, yeah.
Braden, any final thoughts for the listeners out there when it comes to the R1 Rangefinder and Precision Pro?
No, I mean, to me, it is at the forefront of golf technology. I think that's what we as a company are trying to do. And I use the unit all the time. My favorite thing is that front center back. I use that with my slope. I know how much green I have to work with. It helps me. And then you get the wind in there as well. There's really no reason you shouldn't be hitting greens, but no, it really is everything you need in your pocket. It's right there. It's easy. And we're really pleased with kind of the feedback we've gotten on it. And we're really excited about where it's going.
PrecisionProGolf.com is the website. Braden, thank you so much for joining us here on Big's Golf Talk.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
We appreciate you. Thanks.